What if I told you that failure isn't the end, but the very beginning of the life you're searching for? What if I told you that the thing you're most ashamed of, the mistake, the rejection, the wasted years, isn't proof that you're broken, but the evidence that you're alive, that you're trying, that you care? I used to believe that failing meant I was worthless, that every time I missed a step, every time I lost an opportunity, every time someone said no to me, the universe was confirming what I already feared, that I didn't belong, that I wasn't good enough, that my dreams were bigger than me. And for a long time, I carried that belief like a weight strapped to my chest. I remember one night, sitting alone in my small apartment, the kind with the buzzing fridge and the peeling paint on the walls. It was dark, except for the soft glow of my phone screen. I had just received another rejection email, the kind that starts with "Thank you for your interest," and ends with a cold reminder to you, "Hey, you didn't make it." My chest tightened, my throat burned. It felt like the world was closing in on me, like I had reached the end of the road, and there was nothing left to hope for. I stared at the email over and over again, as if the words would magically change, as if the screen would suddenly say, "Congratulations," but it didn't. And in that moment, I felt like my life was a series of unfinished stories, a half-written book that no one wanted to read. Maybe you know that feeling too. The silence after you've tried your hardest, and it still wasn't enough. The shame that comes when everyone else seems to be moving forward while you're stuck in the same place. The late-night thoughts that whisper, "Maybe you're not cut out for this. Maybe you should just stop." That night, I almost did stop. I thought about walking away from my dream entirely. I thought about shrinking into the safe little box where nothing could hurt me, where failure couldn't reach me anymore. But here's the T. How about failure will find you even there, even in the box, even when you play small, even when you lower your expectations until they almost touch the ground. The truth hit me slowly, like water dripping from a faucet. It wasn't one big revelation. It was a quiet realization. I had been looking at failure the wrong way, because failure wasn't a wall. It was a mirror. It was showing me where I still had something to learn. It was reflecting back the parts of me I hadn't faced yet. My impatience, my fear, my tendency to quit too soon, my habit of tying my entire worth to one outcome. That realization hurt, because it meant failure wasn't something outside of me. It was something happening inside of me. And if it was inside, maybe that meant I had the power to change how I saw it. So I started small. I began to treat my failures like conversations instead of verdicts. Instead of asking, "Why me?" I asked, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of saying, "This proves I'm not enough," Ked, what part of me needs to grow? And slowly, very slowly, things began to shift. I remember one morning, walking to a job I didn't love, but desperately needed. The air was cold, my breath visible in the winter light. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel crushed by the thought of being behind. I felt present, alive, a little bruised, yes, but not broken. I realized that as long as I was still breathing, I wasn't finished yet. That became my mantra. I am not finished yet. I started to see failure not as a dead end, but as a signpost, a redirection, proof that I was moving, not stuck. Because here's a strange truth. The only people who don't fail are the ones who never try. And I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to live a life so safe, so quiet, so empty, that the only thing I succeeded at was avoiding disappointment. So I leaned into it. I let myself fail more. I tried things I wasn't sure I could do. I allowed myself to look foolish, to stumble, to art again. And every time, something unexpected happened. I grew, not always in the ways I wanted, not always in the ways people could see, but inside, my resilience stretched, my patience deepened, my understanding of myself became sharper. Here's what I learned. Failure is not proof that you're weak. It's proof that you're stretching beyond what you know. It's proof that you're in motion, that you're chasing something that matters. The people who look like they're winning all the time, they fail too. They just don't show you the messy parts. They don't show you the nights they cried themselves to sleep, or the mornings they doubted everything. But it's there. Behind every success is a mountain of quiet failures. So if you're tired of failing, maybe the question isn't, how do I stop? Maybe the question is, what is this failure trying to give me? Because failure always leaves a gift behind. Sometimes it's wisdom. Sometimes it's humility. Sometimes it's the fire to try again, sharper and stronger than before. The danger isn't in failing. The danger is in refusing to see the gift. The danger is in building your identity around the lie that failure defines you. It doesn't. You define you. I once thought success was about reaching a perfect version of myself, confident, unshakable, admired. But I was wrong. Real success is showing up fully as the imperfect, learning, growing, failing, trying human that you are. Because when you stop being afraid of failing, you finally start living. Think about it. If you knew that every mistake, every wrong turn, every rejection was actually part of the process, would you still be so afraid? Or would you dare more? Would you risk more? Would you live more? The day I understood this, my life didn't suddenly transform. I didn't wake up with everything I ever wanted, but I woke up lighter, braver, more open to the messy beauty of being alive. And I began to notice something. People are drawn to honesty. When you admit your failures without shame, when you carry your scars with humility, you give others permission to do the same. You stop living in competition and start living in connection. That's when the real transformation begins. Not when you conquer failure, but when you stop letting it conquer you. I want to tell you something I wish someone had told me earlier. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not a failure. You are a work in progress. And progress, by definition, is messy. It's full of false starts and wrong turns and nights where nothing makes sense. That doesn't mean you're lost. That means you're alive. So the next time you fall short, remember, this is not the end of the story. It's just a chapter, maybe even the most important one. I can't promise you an easy life. I can't promise you that if you keep trying, everything will work out exactly how you planned. But I can promise you this. If you keep showing up, if you keep learning from the moments that break you, if you keep letting failure carve depth into you instead of shallow scars, you will become someone you're proud of. And that matters more than any trophy, any title, any number in your bank account. The life you dream of might not come in the shape you expect. But if you keep moving, if you keep daring, if you keep failing forward, it will come. And when it does, you'll realize something incredible. You didn't just survive failure. You were shaped by it, sharpened by it, strengthened by it. So if you're tired of failing, hear this. You're not failing. You're becoming. And one day, you'll look back at the nights that broke you, the mornings that tested you, the rejections that scarred you, and you'll see them not as curses, but as chapters of the story that made you who you are. And maybe, just maybe, you'll even be grateful, because failure didn't destroy you. It revealed you.